It's Robbie and Carly this morning, and we have a very special guest in the studio with us right now. Let's welcome the Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese. Albo, how are we?
Listen to the clapping and cheering.
We brought everyone in for you, mate.
That boy Slim's cheering just outside.
What a clashing of worlds. We've got Fat Boy Slim in the studio next to us, and you've walked in at the exact same time. Did you ever go to a big day out back in the day and see Fat Boy?
I went to the first ever big day out that was held.
Nirvana.
You probably weren't born.
I was. Carly barely was.
Barely.
It was awesome. And so I went to a few of the big day outs when they were held at the Sydney Showground. Saw Chili Peppers headlined one year. Nirvana weren't even the headline.
Crazy.
Nirvana played in the Hordern Pavilion, and everyone, there was this buzz about Nirvana at the time. Not surprisingly, it was Nevermind. I think had just come out, the second album, and everyone tried to pile into the Hordern, like 30,000 people or something. It was just nuts.
This is great from you.
It
real
was
sweatbox
fantastic
in there, was it?
It was great. Man. It was so good.
That's music history, though, that you're a part of. So that is very cool.
It was very, very good. And they were a great band, and I got to see them. I think they only toured here that one time.
That was it?
They did some side gigs. They did a gig at Selena's at that time at Coogee. But they essentially were here for the big day outers. I think they were, the third or fourth rung act.
It's crazy, hey?
Yeah.
It's absolutely unbelievable. That's music history from you. I love that.
We also have Rhea and Jeff from Married at First Sight going around the building as well. I don't know if you've seen them since you've just stepped in here. Do you watch MAFS?
Look, not voluntarily.
Oh, you're a MAFS watcher. You're doing what my husband does and acts like I force him.
Well, Jody is completely addicted to it.
Really?
Love
so
that.
you do watch it then?
Well, it's just on sometimes when I
in
get
the background.
home or...
Do you have a question for Rhea and Jeff?
No, I don't.
You do?
No.
We all have questions, Albo. Come on.
No, I really don't.
What do you think
If
Dave
it was
did?
Dave, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about Dave?
Oh, look, I just find them all interesting.
That was the most
being
politically
polite
correct
here.
answer
I'm
I've
being
ever heard.
polite here. No, Jody really likes it.
Yeah, I think everyone's hooked at this point, whether we want to be or not.
See, I think what you've got to do, though, I do think you've got to watch it all the way through to get the characters and the way that it changes and the plots. I was concerned. I did watch the episode where the guy, engaged in behaviour that's pretty unacceptable.
Yes,
I think-
Paul.
I think he should have been kicked off.
I agree.
Breaking.
That's my view.
Yeah, that is breaking
right
news.
there.
Now,
You got to send a message about these things, and the behaviour is quite clearly unacceptable.
Yeah. And
Well,
speaking
I
about
feel like-
sending a message, Carly.
well, yeah. Let's talk about Sam Jones, this influencer. Yesterday, I don't know if you saw, Alba, you were going viral on TikTok for your strong message to her after she picked up a baby
Fair.
wombat. It's now come out that she's also picked up an echidna as well. So,
Look.
are you shocked by this? And she's an American tourist, I believe. There is talk of kicking her out of the country.
Well, I can tell you this, she's gone.
Is she gone already?
Riddance!
She's gone.
Well done.
Now-
well done.
Now, a baby wombat, and indeed the mother wombat as well, who was clearly distressed.
Yeah.
I mean, what on earth was this person thinking? I made the comment yesterday, try it with a croc, or
Yeah.
we got lots of animals that can fight back, crocs and blue-ringed octopuses or jellyfish or
Yeah.
sharks or any
Baby brown snakes. I had one in my
baby
donger
brown
over the
snake.
weekend. Yeah.
Or even go up to a big red kangaroo and see how you go getting a joey out of a pouch.
Yeah.
See how you go. I know who'll win that argument. It'll be the Roo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's gone. Is that
And
you exercising your power and kicking
She's
her out?
gone. No, well, we were exercising an inquiry about the nature of her visa, but she's gone, is
Good.
what I'm told.
That's
Good
great.
riddance.
And I make this point. Baby wombats and mother wombats might be slow, but they've been fast enough to chase her out of the country. And that is a good thing.
Absolutely.
That's good from you. Hey, speaking of sending a message and maybe even setting big red roos onto people, Leo DiCaprio What do we think at the moment? He made those comments the other day.
Oh, look, I don't think Leo, great actor, but I'm not sure he's aware of all the details of the way the EPBC Act works.
Yeah.
So people have a look at the law. There's strict environmental conditions imposed as part of that process. But, yeah, he's entitled to put his view, of course.
Well, he is an environmentalist, and I think a lot of people, especially with,
there's
like the
no
black
doubt
cockatoos.
No
and I
doubt
think,
that he's a genuine
environmentalist.
environmentalist. I had a bit of a look at his feeds, and he's been committed to environmental causes for a long period of time. So good on him.
Yeah.
But we have to make decisions based upon the law and based upon making sure that environmental protection occurs whilst we also support jobs and economic activity.
Now, let's talk about Trump for a second, whether you want to or not. He's just everywhere at the moment.
He
saw
is.
Bill Shorten has come out this morning saying you need to send a strong message to him with these tariffs. But I can also understand that he's not always the most reasonable person to deal with. So I can understand exercising a level of caution when it comes to him. How are you feeling with your dealings with him at the moment? Are you guys building a relationship in the background where you feel like you can find some common ground?
We do, and I've had 2 really constructive discussions with him and 3 of my ministers, the Foreign Minister, the Defence Minister and the Treasurer have all been to the United States and met their counterparts. But this has been a decision they've made to impose tariffs across the board. Every single country has been hit with these tariffs. And the last time around, there were a range of exemptions, not just for Australia. We put our case for Australia, and I'll always stand up for Australia's interest.
Yeah.
It has been disappointing that Peter Dutton has chose to not back Australia, but to somehow back this decision by the Trump administration. But tariffs are a cost on the country that's imposing them. So Americans will pay more for the products that they are buying, which will lift their inflation. So I'm not about to engage in economic self-harm by reciprocating as somehow to pay back, because that would hurt consumers here. But what we will do is continue to put forward our case, and certainly the impact it's having on the global economy. We can see the share market responding both in the United States but everywhere around the world because of these decisions.
Can I make an assumption that you're not on Trump's social media platform Truth?
That's a fair assumption. I think social media sometimes can be a good thing, but sometimes it can be a pretty negative thing as well.
Fair.
I think one of the things we can do to counteract some of Trump's tariffs and erratic behaviour is kind of bring it back home and start supporting Australian businesses, which is always a positive.
Right.
You did mention Bundaberg's ginger beer yesterday. Is there any other Aussie brands that you would like to see flourish in this time? Like, what are some of your Aussie faves?
Well, Haig's Chocolates, there's one.
Boom.
I didn't even know they're Australian.
South Australian.
They're Aussie as.
They are
I did
awesome.
not know that.
And they're the best in the world. We have the best products in the world. Of course, you can drink Australian whiskey rather than bourbon and stuff that's made in the US.
Big tick.
You can make decisions when you go to the supermarket to buy Australian-made products.
Yep.
Because they are the best in the world. Australian honey. It's better than the syrup and stuff that comes out of the US anyway.
That is true.
We have great products. And as part of the budget, in a couple of weeks' time, you'll see a spiced up, made in Australia plan. We want to make more things here. And today in Perth, I'll be with Ed Husick, the industry minister. We've got a $750 million announcement for green metals. We want to produce the best steel and the best aluminium in the world that will be in demand around the world. And one way we can do that is to make more things here in Australia. Just like Roger Cook's agenda was made in WA, our agenda is very much made in Australia.
Mate, I have to ask you a really quick question because you have to go on to the next interview. But I was on the Fortescue mine sites over the week and they're going green by 2040.
Yep.
going up there, I learned about it and it was amazing. What's your thoughts on that? And sorry, we have to ask you really quick.
It's a great thing.
Yep.
And what will happen around the world is people will look at the carbon footprint, how much emissions are produced, and you'll have a comparative advantage if you have clean, green products. That is a part of the future, and it's one that we must seize.
Anthony
Absolutely.
Albanese, thank you so much for chatting with us today. We really appreciate your time, and good
Great
luck
to
with
be
the election.
back in WA.